Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of In the Kitchen with Caitlin. Today my friend Erica is joining me.
Hello.
And we are going to be making a lemon blueberry ricotta pie.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
so
more
good.
like a cheesecake, but ricotta paste. I think that's enough for me. I'm ready to get started.
All you had to say was cheesecake,
Yeah.
I think.
First thing we're gonna do is get our crust ready. So,
Best part.
right?
Love the crunch.
I love the crunch of a nice graham cracker crust.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna move some of this stuff out of the way. Oh, we're gonna use the honey actually. Yeah. Give this to the side. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about this, right now this is 8. You wanna do between 9 and 12 graham crackers, so you get about 2 cups. That's gonna coat about the bottom of your pan. And then we're gonna add some honey right now. About 2 tablespoons.
I think I would eat it just like that.
Right?
The honey on the graham crackers.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's enough for me. I think we can go. That's it.
Just skip to the
Just skip to the end.
Just skip to the end.
That's enough. That's perfect.
Delish. All right. No, I just looked that, so I can't. Okay. So we got 2 tablespoons about in there. I'll put this away. All right. Close this guy up. And I think we need, how many do I have in there? 8? I think I'm going to put 2 more in, actually. They only come 8 in a sleeve in the brand that we're using. So to open a whole nother sleeve.
It's like that famous scene in, what was it, Father of the Bride, where he's like, why do you sell 12 hot dog buns but only 8 hot dogs in a pack?
Yes. Why?
I don't need these extra hot dog buns.
I usually like use them to make sandwiches or something later in the week. Hot dog bun sandwiches, you know. But that's just me. All right, so we got this. We gotta plug this in. That would be helpful, right?
Yes.
Plug in the blender.
Why isn't it working? Oh.
I hear it does really good things when you plug it in. All right, and we want a crumb. There's a crumb setting.
Wow.
On blenders. So once your crumbs are good and pulverized, pour them into a bowl.
Perfect.
Yay! Great. And then you're gonna add some melted butter. And
Delicious.
yeah, we're gonna whisk this together till it looks like wet sand, like what you'd build a sandcastle with.
Now I want to go to the beach.
I know, me too, right? Yeah. So here, I'm gonna let you take over there. So Erica, tell me about a little thing we like to call on the show called foodition. Do you guys have any in your family or any personal ones?
Yeah, I mean, every year I grew up in Connecticut, and every year we have our family over to our house for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So we always are making all of the traditional Thanksgiving dishes and the turkey and sweet potato pie and all that green bean casserole and all that. But for me, it's almost, the tradition has become less about the dinner and more about the appetizers.
Oh, okay.
And eating, and because it's in our house, so we're up in the morning and we're cooking all day and we have people over. So I like to fill up on like all the appetizers and then get to the meal and be like, I'm kind of full.
Yeah.
But and it's not even on purpose, it's just that's kind of become my
Foodition.
Thanksgiving tradition. But you have like, spinach and artichoke dip and like, crackers and cheese, like, shrimp cocktail, all like delicious, hors d'oeuvres. And I eat those all day, and then I don't even have room to eat the main meal.
Got it.
But it's all about family and getting everyone together, and football.
Oh,
and football.
You're big into football.
Yeah.
So who's your team?
Well, I don't have an NFL team.
Okay.
But I went to Northwestern, so go Wildcats. And the Big Ten, so yeah.
Okay.
But I love watching football.
Nice.
It's fun.
Awesome. So let's grab the pie crust. And we're going to get this all in here, and then we're gonna pat it into shape. Okay. So Thanksgiving fooditions are my favorite. I
Yeah.
have to say. It's my favorite holiday.
It's my favorite holiday too, especially growing up in New England and having it be, we get ice cream from the farm and pie from the farm and pumpkin ice cream and, the leaves. Well, the leaves are gone by that time, but, it's great.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hi, we're at my family barbecue again with my sister's boyfriend and his friends, and we're going to have them introduce themselves.
I'm Gary. Hey.
I'm Ross. Hello.
I'm Zach.
So we're going to talk to these guys who are enjoying a brewski in my parents' backyard about some fooditions. So a foodition, which you guys might not know if you haven't tuned into my show, if Megan hasn't forced you to watch it yet, is a food-based tradition. So it could be a food that commemorates a holiday, a special occasion, something your mom made every week, something like, you like to cook yourself if you guys happen to cook, or if not, that's okay. Your favorite food that you like to have every year on a holiday or your birthday. That's the long form. So anyway, it could your favorite comfort food even could count as a foodition. We've counted it before. So who's thinking of food? Oh,
No, I just like pizza. That's all I was going to say.
that's all you're gonna say is I like pizza?
I was going to work off these guys. Go ahead.
So I go tailgating for all my football games,
Oh, yes.
and we don't cook hamburgers or hot dogs ever. So that's the one rule. So you can't make hamburgers or hot dogs. So you have to make steak or like sausage or some sort of seafood. You have to make something better than just like standard boring barbecue food. So that's our foodition. We don't do hamburgers and hot dogs when you go to a football game.
Who's the we involved in this?
Me and my family, whoever friends when we ever go to a game. And we go to every game, so we don't miss it.
All right, Zachary.
Oh, I don't know. When I was in middle school, I would always eat saltine crackers after school. So I would come home and I would watch The Kids in the Hall. It was on from 2. And then there was another episode at 2:30, so I'd watch that and I'd eat saltine crackers. Because my mom was a teacher, so she wasn't home for like another hour.
Now, did you just eat them dry, straight, or?
No water, just saltine crackers, just straight out of the box. Yeah, they're good. I mean, saltine crackers are pretty good. Yeah.
This is awesome. So, every single day did you go through like the whole box, or was there like a?
No, I'd go through like half a. You know how the box has 4 sleeves? So I'd go through like, I don't know, a third of a sleeve, half a sleeve, maybe, depending on the day.
Okay, so pizza. What holidays does your family like to celebrate?
Well, I'm kind of Jewish-y a little bit.
You're Jewish?
Yeah, I guess so. So my family always made matzah pizza, which is good.
What? Okay.
Sauce, cheese on matzah. There you go. I did a thing.
Are you allowed to have
No,
cheese
as long
and
as there's
matzah?
no meat, I guess it's kosher.
Oh, okay.
My family's not kosher. I don't care. But yeah, I did that, and then there's also matzah brie, which is like French toast kinda with matzah. Yeah, and then we put like cheese in it too, and with the maple syrup, it all goes really well. Just a lot of things with matzah.
You get really creative with matzah during Passover.
You do a lot of things with it, just like with pizza. Circle of life.
The circle of pizza.
Well, pizza is a circle, so that works out perfectly. I see what you did there.
Makes sense.
Smart. That's why you have your own TV
What's
show.
your favorite type of pizza?
Oh, my favorite type of pizza. That's hard because pizza is also one of my favorite foods. So I'd have to say, depending on the kind of pizza, like I'm going Sicilian, you got to go to L&B Spumoni Gardens. If you're going for regular, this is going to be tough. Yeah, I love going to Donino's. Actually, this is a foodition that me and my Gma have that we forgot to mention. When almost anytime I come back to Staten Island and visit with my Gma, she takes me to lunch and we go to Donino's. So, Mike, where are you from?
Vancouver, Canada.
Cool. So, up north.
Up north, yes. The
North.
Great White North.
So, tell me about some of the fooditions from where you're from.
Honestly, it's kind of a weird area of the world. I don't want to say that it doesn't have any food traditions, that area, but I don't know if it really has any food traditions of its own. It's kind of like it has a strong British sort of immigration to it. There's a huge Asian sort of population to it. And I think a lot of what is considered Pacific Northwest is kind of combinations of where people have come from. So there's a huge amount of British, there's a huge amount of sort of Central European, like German and Polish, which is where my sort of half my family comes from. There's a lot of Asian, a huge amount of Asian sort of, it's probably some of the best Japanese and Chinese food in the world outside of Japan and China. So I don't know about like traditions that are uniquely Pacific Northwest. It's more just sort of where things have come from for the people that are there.
Cool. So tell me about your family at your house. What are some things like maybe something? What's your favorite holiday food-wise with your family?
Definitely Christmas. And given what I just said, I think it actually leads in perfectly to that because half my family's British and the other half is kind of Polish German. So Christmas for us is usually in two parts. So we have Christmas Eve, which is actually, it was kind of a combination between, it was both my grandparents' anniversary, my grandma and grandpa's anniversary, and it was Christmas Eve, which is typically when they celebrate Christmas in Poland. And so it was always a really huge family gathering at my grandma's house, both to celebrate her anniversary and to have the Christmas celebration for that. So we as young kids would gather around, we'd go to my grandma's, all the cousins would be there, which were older than us, and so we were always the babies. We would get to open a couple of presents, and my grandma would have this massive spread of amazing kind of Polish traditional dishes. Rouladen is one of the ones that I always remember, which is this like very thin beef, pounded out beef that's sort of rolled with onions and other things that are sort of rolled up and spiked with a toothpick that are then roasted. And she would just have this massive spread with, potato salads, very sort of rustic, hearty, Polish food. So that was amazing. And then Christmas morning was or Christmas morning and Christmas Day was the sort of the main sort of Christmas celebration. And then Christmas lunch and dinner was when my dad's mom and sister and that side of the family would come over and we would have the British celebration. So we had the ham, we had turkey, we had roast beef. We had the Christmas pudding with the brandy white sauce for dessert. It was just incredible. And we always had I always remember as a child, we would always have the I guess it was traditional there that they would hide a coin, in our case it was a dime, in the Christmas pudding, and whoever found it was like the winner. If you didn't break your tooth first. So I think all the grandparents and the parents were secretly hoping they wouldn't get the dime because their teeth would break, and the kids were really hoping they would get it. So it was a really traditional, and as such, there was a lot of drinking as well, a lot of scotch, a lot of brandy, a lot of like port, a lot of wine, a lot of all that, and there were the night went on.
So did the drinking.
But yeah, Christmas for me has huge memories, and a large part of it is around the food. But it was really sort of whatever. Like the first half was sort of the Polish side of the family, and the second half was the British. Just incredible.
So starting as a Pole, ending with the Brits. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much for chatting.
My pleasure.
So here's just a spatula, and I'm gonna use it to like mold our crust a little bit, and literally it's like graham cracker crusts are usually like little kids building sandcastles is how I like to think of it,
But delicious sandcastles.
Delicious sandcastles. I also just like really love graham cracker crust because I feel like anyone can do it.
Yeah, and it's not intimidating. Like, oh, I'm baking. It's
Yeah.
You don't have to be into baking and Martha Stewart to be able to do this.
Yeah, no, I mean, God bless Martha, but guess what? Like, sometimes pie crust can be scary for people because there's a million and one ways to do it wrong before you could do it right. And I think people get kind of like
intimidated by it.
So once it's all even and spread, we're going to put it in the fridge while it sets and get working on our filling.
Great.
So first thing we're going to do is do the eggs and sugar. That's usually the start. So I'm going to have you start cracking some eggs in here.
Okay. Hopefully there's no shells. I'm going to do it here.
I trust you. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to get a little bit of this lump of sugar. Got a little crunchy. Perfect.
a little egg on the countertop.
That's all right.
It's all right. That's fixable.
Yeah. So you do that, and I'm going to start whisking away. So, Erica, we talked about Foodition already. Tell me what you do every day.
So I work at USA Network,
Cool.
the TV network.
That's the one.
Our offices are at Rockefeller Plaza, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and so we basically go over and schedule our 24-hour schedules and decide when we're airing things and how we're airing them
So
and
what is
time
it that
periods.
you do there?
So I work in the programming department.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So that's basically we're deciding how everything airs on the network. So what you see on the television and when things are airing and the episodes and the movies, that's all of my department. So yeah, it's really fun. It's really interesting, and it's all also based on competitive stuff. What other people are airing on other networks determines and affects what we decide to air and when we air it. So
Cool. Is there any examples you can give us of like what's a decision-making process of when a certain show airs, like a show that you might like or people might watch? Like, what's
I mean, it just most of our originals, like we have Suits coming back in June, and that's a really popular show. And we decided to launch a new show. I think it was last year, Graceland, that we decided to air immediately following Suits because Suits was such a hot show to kind of keep viewers and introduce them to this new show, Graceland.
Right.
You know, we decided to air it immediately following Suits.
And had that work out.
Yeah, and it worked out really well. So things like that definitely affect how we schedule things for the network.
That's awesome. So, I know USA shows a lot of movies and stuff too. How does
do.
that work?
Well, we have an acquisitions department that buys the rights for all the movies that we air. And then we decide when and how, we want to air them. And we have different formats for different movies. So if you're like, hey, that movie was missing, that scene that I really like, well, it was a shorter version of the movie. So yeah, it's lots of things, kind of go into deciding.
I'll let you do some stirring too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Deciding, which versions we air and at what times and that sort of thing.
Oh, cool.
This is looking really good.
Yeah. So while you do that, I'm going to sneak over here and grab some of these Meyer lemons. Now, this is going to sound really dorky, but I got giddy when I went to the supermarket and I saw that they had Meyer lemons for sale. It was in the middle of Brooklyn Fair.
I've never
in
seen
Hell's
these.
Kitchen. It's kind of like a crossbreed between a tangerine and a lemon.
Yeah, it looks
So
like
they're
a
not as,
clementine almost.
It is. It's still sour, but it's not as offensively sour. Like you could eat them like an orange. I eat
Interesting.
lemons like oranges anyway because I'm a little bit of a weirdo, but I love it. And they're so good. And they're so great with this pie because they go so good with the blueberry.
Yeah.
And now we're going to use my all-time favorite kitchen tool, which is this here thing. You're like, oh my God, what is that instrument of torture? It is a zester. So it's like
Ooh,
a
fancy.
and if you don't have a zester at home, you're like, oh my God, I was on board until you whipped out the zester.
Yeah.
A cheese grater does the same exact thing.
Oh.
Yeah, same exact thing. Then why get a zester? Just because I use it a lot. But if you don't use it a lot and you want to make this recipe, just get the finest edge of your box cheese grater and it'll work. So keep stirring. And I'm going to zest one of these bad boys in there.
And if nothing else, that smells so good.
Right?
Oh,
This is why I love
the
it.
smell of lemon.
Because you get the...
So fresh.
yeah.
It makes you feel like spring.
and the aroma.
Oh, it smells so good.
It's...
This is a workout too, if nothing else. You get a little arm workout.
Listen, people think that these guns just are natural. They are. They're naturally from zesting and stirring. My strength training for the week.
Hey, and then you get to eat something afterwards, so
right.
it's worth it.
So you burn the calories that you earn.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, oh my
Oh,
God.
it smells so good.
Thanks. Yeah, so we're going to do the zest of an entire one of these lemons. And you're like, Caitlin, my grocery store isn't as fancy as Brooklyn Fair is, and I don't have Meyer lemons. Regular lemons and a little orange and a half of an orange will give you the same effect. Or you could just use plain lemons. It depends on your taste. You might try a Meyer lemon and be like, oh my God, that combo is gross to me. Then don't do it. It's all about taste. It's the I mean, citruses depend. It's all about preference because the textures are pretty similar and interchangeable, so they'll all work in the recipe. I mean, if you got a hankering for a grapefruit ricotta pie,
Ooh.
go to town. You know. So, yeah. So once you get it looking like a little what I call bald.
A bald lemon.
It's a bald lemon. That's enough. You don't want to go further than that because the rind is not what you want in the dish. So I'm going to grab a little, while you're doing that still, keep stirring, stirring, stirring. I'm going to get a little cutting board and a knife, and we're going to juice this bad boy in there. All right, and I'm just going to catch the seeds with my fingers. Keep stirring. You're doing good.
Don't stop stirring.
Yeah, don't stop stirring. Can't stop, won't stop. Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot. That is the thing with Meyer lemons, though. There's a lot of seeds, but it's so worth it. It's really worth it.
It smells delicious already, and it's not even cooked yet.
It's not even
So,
cooked. Yeah, this is.
I'm on board.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's really easy to juice them because like sometimes with a regular lemon you need to like run and get like tongs or something to squeeze it, but the skin is so paper thin and soft.
Oh wow.
Like just from squeezing that one, like I broke all the way through it, and I am not like the
Well,
Hulk.
your guns from stirring and
My
zesting
my
probably
stirring-
help.
My zesting and stirring guns. Welcome to the gun show. Starring Caitlin.
Exactly.
In the gun show with Caitlin. That'll be the spinoff.
Sounds good.
We
We
can
can
air
work
it.
out together,
Yeah.
and it'll be how we were working off all the calories
Yeah.
from the lemon ricotta pie.
Yeah, and we can air it right after each other.
Exactly. You just ate all of that. Let's just show you how you can work it off. I'm all for it.
Yep.
That's part of the reason why I do work out, is so I can eat
Yep.
delicious food.
Right after each other.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna throw in the juice. That was about because these are little, so you want a couple of tablespoons of juice. So that means more than one lemon. But you only need the zest of one, unless you're going crazy and you're like, I want to
What
zest
if it's like a
more."
regular size lemon?
Like
so
a
it's
regular
bigger,
size lemon, then you would only need the juice of one lemon. But these are
or
like
the zest of one lemon?
Yeah, well, the zest.
And
oh,
the
yeah.
juice?
You would need it would be half. So like the zest of half the lemon and the juice of one lemon.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the
Yeah.
most lemons are like double the size of these guys.
Right.
Meyer lemons are petite, like moi. Vertically challenged, whatever your preference is to call it. Yeah. Ugh, I just love the smell. I know we can't stop talking about it. You're
I
like,
know.
oh, we want smell-o-vision.
I know, right? It just smells so fresh and like,
Scratch and sniff.
yeah.
Gotta get on that. Gotta get on that train.
I can smell it from here.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Just tell them all at home.
I can smell it from here.
It smells good.
It smells delicious.
Take our word. Okay, so now we need to put the flour in. So keep stirring, and I'm gonna gradually add it because we don't want lumps and clumps. You know, yeah, and make sure you scrape the sides. Yeah, because this is gonna thicken it up and make it like cheesecakey like. Now we're gonna add the liqueur. It's 3
Delicious.
tablespoons. Any fruit-based liqueur that you prefer. I use apple because when I made this the first time, it was what I had in the house, and now I just do it every time. But Grand Marnier would be great because it's a citrus-based liqueur.
Liquor in anything, I think, just makes it better.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty
Can't go
rare.
wrong.
It's pretty rare that it mucks it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh. Ooh,
Right?
it smells like candy now.
Yeah.
Green
Wow.
apple and
Yeah.
lemon.
Yeah. And you got the zest. and-
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a party. So once you get a pancake batter-like consistency with your filling, you're going to pour it in to your crust. Okay. Just before the edge. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then what we're going to do is add our frozen blueberries, because those are going to sink to the bottom mostly and have blueberries in like every bite. And then we're going to throw some fresh ones on top because those are going to float. So then you have some inside.
Science.
Right? So then no matter where you take a bite, you'll have blueberries.
Ooh,
It's overflowing
beautiful.
a little bit, but it's okay.
it's all right.
All right. Then you set your oven to 350 degrees and bake for 30 minutes or until it starts to firm up and look cake-like.
I can't wait.
Me too.
I want to eat it now.
Yeah. So now it's time for everyone's favorite part.
The eating.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Thank you. All right, so let's give it a try.
Here we go.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. I'm the most graceful eater.
Oh my God, that's so good. You can taste the lemon so much.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
but it's not like offensively.
No, it's just like a hint of lemon, but like the blueberries are obvious because they're on the top. But when you take a bite, you can really taste like the
Yeah.
lemon in it too.
You know what I like that's like it's a subtle like afternote? It's the apple liqueur.
Can you get drunk off of this?
Unfortunately, it cooks
How
out.
great would it be to be able to eat cheesecake and get drunk at the same time?
We should
We
see if
should
can
work
make
that next
happen.
time.
That sounds promising. And the honey and the crust gives it a nice little crunch.
Yeah. So good.
Oh my gosh. Wow, we're like devouring this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of In the Kitchen with Caitlin. Thank you, Erica,
Of course.
for
Thank you for having
helping
me.
us make this delicious ricotta pie torte. If you're in Italy, this would be a torta. I probably didn't pronounce that right. You can all criticize me later. It's fine. Anyway, try it at home, like it on Facebook, and make sure to come back next time. And don't forget your empty stomach.